Incredibly, incredibly delicious. This pinto bean curry is one of my new favorite weeknight meals. It is packed with flavor, it's got fiber and protein, and it all comes together in one pot. The secret to this curry's deliciousness is 3 layers of flavor. We're gonna roast up a bunch of whole spices in the pan, then we're gonna add our aromatics like onion and garlic, and then we'll add the rest of the curry ingredients to the pan along with our ground spices to boost the flavor even more. This curry is just so fantastic. Every bite has like a different flavor profile because you'll be picking up different whole spices that give you like these bursts of flavor in your mouth. It is just so good. I cheated a little bit. I had some leftover cut up onion in the fridge. I never cut up just like half an onion. Why not just cut up the whole thing and then you have sliced onion for the rest of the week? If you want less heat, you can either use half the green chili or omit the green chili entirely and just use like a handful of chopped bell pepper instead. And some garlic. You can use more garlic if you want. You could use less garlic, although I don't know why you would make that choice for yourself, but do you? And then I'm using a garlic press because who has the time? Thank you for your service, garlic press. And then the last thing that we have to cut up is some green onions just for garnish. You could also do like parsley, or you could do cilantro if you prefer. Now we'll measure out our ground spices and then our whole spices. So a teaspoon each of cumin and fennel seeds. And then just half a teaspoon of coriander seeds. Lately, I've been using a lot of roasted whole spices in my soups and stews and curries and stuff. I just love how they really like enhance the flavor of the dish, but they also give you like this burst of flavor in your mouth. I definitely recommend picking up some whole spices and trying it out. Now let's do the ground spices and some salt. Some onion powder, some garlic powder, and then paprika. As always, I'm using Kashmiri chili powder because my husband is allergic to paprika, but you can use regular paprika, hot paprika, or smoked paprika. They would all be really good in this, and they would all bring different flavor profiles. All right, and then the last thing we need is just a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. It's curry time. A little bit of oil. And then I'm gonna just toss a piece of onion in there, and when that starts to sizzle, we'll know the pan is hot. That sizzle means we're ready. I fished that onion out of there because now that the oil is hot, we're gonna toast our whole spices. And this should take like less than 2 minutes depending on your pan. You just want the spices to change color a little bit and they'll start to smell like roasted and toasted. Now let's add all of those aromatics. And a little bit of salt. That helps the onion release moisture. It'll keep the garlic from burning, and it helps the onion cook faster. That's looking good. Now we're gonna add some broth, and that's gonna cool everything in the pan down. That way when we add our ground spices, they don't burn. Now just dump all the rest of the curry ingredients in there. And you can actually make this in the Instant Pot too, and I have those directions on my website. If veggie grounds aren't your jam, just use another can of drained and rinsed pinto beans instead. We got some frozen spinach and some frozen corn. Oh, that's looking so good already. Then once this comes to a boil, we're gonna reduce the heat and let it simmer so the flavors can meld. It smells so good. Look at that curry. Dish up some rice. You could also serve this with quinoa. You could also just serve this on its own like a soup or like a stew. You don't even have to do a grain if you don't want to. And then let's get that curry. Then we'll top it with some green onions, little non-dairy yogurt, drizzle, drizzle, and then a little crushed pepper if you want some extra heat, which I always do. And look at that. It is just super delicious with all of those whole spices that give you like a different flavor profile in every bite. And you've got like the tender pinto beans and then those sweet little pieces of corn. It is just incredibly, incredibly delicious. If you have leftover pinto bean curry, you can freeze it, thaw it, and warm it up whenever you like, or you can store it in the fridge in a closed container for like 3 to 5 days. If you warm it up on the stovetop, just add an extra splash or two of water so it doesn't dry out, or you can warm it up in the microwave. I hope that this video answered all of your questions about how to make this one-pot pinto bean curry. If you have any questions I didn't answer, drop a comment. I am always happy to help. And don't forget to rate and subscribe. Happy cooking!